Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to center ice as we welcome Hall of Famer Bob Miller to honor one of our Kings legends.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Staples Center tonight on Kings Legends Night, brought to you by McDonald's. Tonight, we honor a man who did something that no Kings coach had ever done before. In 1993, he took the Kings to the Stanley Cup Final. At the time, it was something Kings fans thought they might never see, the Stanley Cup in Los Angeles. That coach was Barry Melrouse, and he and his players talked about winning the Stanley Cup. In fact, Barry said, if you're afraid to talk about winning the Stanley Cup, you'll never win it. And now all of us are very proud to come in here to Staples Center and look at the rafters and see two Stanley Cup banners. Ladies and gentlemen, Kings legend, former head coach Barry Melrouz. Joining Barry on the ice tonight, please welcome his wife, Cindy. And Kings President of Business Operations and Hockey Hall of Famer, Luca Robitaila. Barry Melrouz coached the Kings from 1992 to 1995. He was an outgoing personality with his mullet hairstyle and his outrageous loud laugh, and he still has both of them today. It was in his first season as the Kings coach that he made his mark. Wayne Gretzky missed the first half of that season due to injury. Luca Robitaila led the Kings that year with 63 goals and 125 points. The Kings started every playoff series that year on the road. They beat Calgary 4-2. They beat Vancouver 4-2. And then in a classic conference final, they won Game 7 in Toronto when Wayne Gretzky scored a hat trick. It was one of the greatest playoff series in NHL and Kings history. In the Stanley Cup final that year, Montreal won 3 straight games in overtime and beat the Kings 4-1. After leaving the Kings, Barry eventually went on to a successful TV career with ESPN, where he still is today. And at this time, Luca Robitaila will present Barry with a beautiful timepiece from Graham Watches. Ladies and gentlemen, Barry Melrouz.
Yeah. I'm going to be very quick because we got a hell of a hockey game here a little bit later, and it's pretty important. I got to thank one person more so than anybody else. That's my wife, Cindy. We've been married 38 years. And you can ask Bob Hartley and you can ask Daryl Sutter. When you're coaching, a lot of times you're not there. A lot of times you're not the greatest husband in the world. And all the places we were, not all of them were as nice as LA. So you're always there with me, and you're a great partner, and I always thank you and love you for that. Thank you. Now, when I was coaching, my biggest concerns were I got to get Gretzky, Robitaille, and Blake on the ice at least 30 minutes a night. So those are the things I was worrying about behind the bench. I had a great group of guys, a lot like these two teams here. They overachieved. They worked their butts off. I knew I was going to get a great effort every night. I knew they were going to be hard to play against. And I knew that whoever beat us was going to have to be at their best. A lot like the two teams here tonight. Two of the most overachieving teams in the NHL. When I got here in '93, Luke was the best left winger in the game. Blake was the best young defenseman in the game. McSorley seemed to beat the crap out of a guy every 2 or 3 games. Dave Taylor was at the end of his career, but he meant so much to the team, and he was so important to us, and was just magical. And oh, by the way, you got to watch 99 play 100 games a year. That wasn't a bad price for a ticket. There's no mistake why those guys are up on the wall here in the new Staples Center. It's unbelievable. I love my time here. I love coaching this team. When I come back, it's like coming home. I see people. Lou McClary, I see tonight. Put his foot in his mouth tonight, but that's okay. Lou does that all the time. Bob Miller and Nick Nixon and all the guys, Pete Demers, all the guys that meant a lot. The one guy I wish was here tonight that isn't is Cap Rader, my assistant coach. He was Daryl's assistant coach, too. He's one of the greatest guys in the world, and he loved LA, and he had a great time here, and he was just a fantastic coach. So the one thing I can say to the LA Kings, hopefully the next time in the building, guys, it's in June, and you're kicking some Eastern butt.
Kings legend, Barry Melrouz. Thank you, Barry. Welcome back.